Hi guys, welcome to my channel KP Financial and Strategy Review. Myself Praveen Kumar. In today's video, we'll discuss one of the important topic, that is who is responsible for detection and prevention of frauds and errors in the entity. Whether board is responsible or management is responsible or auditors are responsible, and who is responsible for this, and what is the legal remedy available to the shareholders and the investors if they suffered any financial losses based on the audit report and the audited financial statements. Then what is the legal remedy available to them? Can they sue an auditors? Can they sue management? We'll discuss in short summary. I have explained the total topic into 5 parts, and if you see the heading, auditor responsibility regarding frauds and errors in the financial statements, it is not a guarantee and it's not an insurance. Number 1, auditor is not a guarantor. Number 2, an audit is not a insurance, and audit firm is not an insurance company. First we need to note this point. And going to point number 1, here in a short summary, audit shareholders will appoint an auditor, and the auditor will conduct an audit, and thereafter he will issue an audit report. In the audit report he will express an opinion and clearly whether these financial statements represents in all material aspects true and fair view as per the applicable accounting framework or not. That's it. So he will express an opinion whether the financial statements in all material aspects represent true and fair view and they are in line with applicable accounting standards framework or not. This is what the auditor's responsibility. And prima facie, it is the responsibility of the management only to detect frauds and errors in the entity. But the debatable point is, while an auditor issuing an audit report and clean audit report that the financial statements in all material aspects represents true and fair view, then until a existence of frauds and errors are detected, until the frauds and errors are detected, how can auditor will issue a clean audit report? This is the debatable point. The thing is, the whatever the opinion they have given, that is only a reasonable assurance of opinion. That is only the opinion is not an absolute opinion. The opinion is not a guarantee, and that opinion is not an insurance that everything is clean, 100% is clean, 100% is audited and tested and verified and checked. There's nothing wrong, and you can believe on this audit report and the audited financial statements. And if something goes wrong, we are the insurance party. If something goes wrong, I am giving you guarantee. Audit report doesn't give any guarantee, and auditor is not an insurance party, and audit firm is not an insurance company also. So whatever the opinion they have given, that is only provide a reasonable level of assurance only, not an absolute assurance, and doesn't give any guarantee that all frauds and errors are detected. It doesn't give any guarantee that there is no such existence of frauds and errors. It doesn't give any guarantee of that. So point number 2, it is the primary responsibility of the management and the board for prevention and detection of frauds and errors, and it is a secondary objective of an auditor that while conducting an audit, if an auditor come across any instances or occurrences that there is a likely possibility of frauds and error, then in such cases with his professional skepticism and professional due care, he will analyze in detail and he will evaluate and check and further investigate whether there is any such occurrence of frauds and errors, what is the nature, what is the extent, what is the materiality, and what is the reasons for that, and what is the effect on the financial statements, and who are the beneficiary parties, and who are the victim for this, and he will discuss in that and he will report to the appropriate authority, provided, and further it is not a primary responsibility, it is only secondary objective. Point number 3, GAAP and IFRS. GAAP is nothing but general accepted accounting principles, and IFRS is nothing but international financial reporting standards. These are accounting standards. Who is responsible to comply this? And it is the responsibility of the management who has to prepare these financial statements. It is the responsibility of the management to publish the financial statements. It is the responsibility of the management and the board to design, implement, and monitor internal controls related to the financial statements and non-financial statements. So at a prima facie, it is the responsibility of the management only, not an auditor. So if everything is the responsibility of the management and the board, then what the auditor will do? Auditor will only do an audit as per the GAAP standards. Thereafter, he will issue an audit report and he will express an opinion whether these financial statements in all material aspects true and represents true and fair view as per the applicable reporting framework or not. That's it, and doesn't give any guarantee and doesn't provide any insurance. Point number 4, gas. Gas is nothing but an audit. Generally accepted auditing standards. These are the auditing standards applicable to an auditor. Whenever an auditor do an audit, he will do in line with applicable to this gas standards. As long as an auditor complies these gas standards and thereafter something goes wrong, then auditor is not responsible generally. Why? Because if the auditor is not a full-time employee of a company due to independency, an auditor will not be present in the company 365 days. An auditor will not verify and watch each and every transaction, and he will not test 100% of transactions. He will do audit only for the certain period of time, and only for the limited period of time he will conduct an audit. Even though he is conducting audit for the entire financial period to express an opinion, but he will conduct an audit only for the limited period of time due to nature, extent, timing of audit process and cost benefit analysis. So he will do only on a sample basis, and when do on that sample basis, there is a high possibility that certain frauds and errors can go undetected and out of scope of samples, quite possible. But even then, audit is not responsible as long as is compliant with the gas standards. Then if this is the case, then what is the legal remedy available to the shareholders? Point number 5. If they can prove that the auditor is negligent in conducting an audit, if they can prove that the auditor is not exercised professional due care and not exercised professional skepticism, if they can prove that, then in such cases the auditor will be held responsible and liable for that. Otherwise, prima facie audit is not responsible as long as they comply with gas standards in conducting the audit. Then alternatively, what is the legal remedy available to the investors and the shareholders who suffered a financial losses, mainly especially based on these financial statements? Then in such cases, the legal framework in such cases they need to prove that they completely relied on these financial statements, and they need to prove that they have taken a decision based on the audit report, and they incurred financial losses directly related based on this audit report and the audited financial statements, and thereafter auditor itself is negligent in the conducting the gross negligent and conducted an audit in a gross negligence manner. If they can prove that, then auditor will be responsible. Otherwise, the auditor is not responsible. Alternatively, they can sue the management, but however, while suing the management, they need to prove that the management has exercised a gross negligence and they are not acted in the best interest of the shareholders, and they acted beyond the scope of level of authority delegated to them. They need to prove that. Otherwise, even management also will not be responsible for this. Hope, stay tuned. Thank you very much. You enjoyed this video. Stay tuned. I will be posting series of videos very shortly.